Hey everybody, welcome to class. I know several people have inquired as to when are we going to make some stuff that's not so sweet, something we can actually cook for dinner. I guess quarantine is kind of wearing on all of us with everyone trying to with everyone having to cook at home so much now. So today we're going to do one of my family's favorite things to eat, which is chicken enchiladas. And the key to a good enchilada is not your chicken. It is the enchilada sauce. So this is the best and yummiest enchilada sauce ever. And it's so easy to make up, and it makes a good bit. So I'm going to show you how to make that today. I don't have my little sidekick with me today. Something came up, so I'm by myself, so this is all you got. Nothing cute to look at, but I'm going to start by telling everybody to go wash your hands if you're making it with me at the same time. So I'm going to wash my hands really quick. Okay, where are you from? Holler out in the classroom so we will know how many people are close by and who's watching from other places. Hey, Emily and Morgan and Vianne and Debbie. Got some friends in here today. All right, I'm going to tell you what I did right before so that it wouldn't take so long. I just got a pot of water. I'm going to try to tilt this down. Can you see that? This is the pot of water that I boiled 5 pieces of chicken in. And so that it wouldn't take so much time, I went ahead and took the chicken out and let it cool and chopped it up. But what we're going to do here is make our enchilada sauce. And notice I didn't throw out the chicken stock from making the enchilada sauce because we are going to need that when we make our sauce. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start with is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And 2 tablespoons of flour. Got my flour in a little small container here. Got this on low heat. It's easiest to thicken your sauce by starting with a roux. And roux is just when you make your thickener first. If you were to put all your liquid ingredients in here first and then add your flour would end up in little clumps. But look at how nice and smooth that is when you start by putting your oil and your flour together first. Now I need 4 tablespoons of chili powder. This is that stuff that you just get at the grocery store in the 99-cent barrel. 2, 3. This is the yummiest sauce, enchilada sauce I have ever had. I think I'm just going to get me a job at a Mexican restaurant, because I know how to make enchilada sauce. So now I need a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. So you know our little cookie nip measuring spoon has a tablespoon, a teaspoon, a 1/2, and a 1/4. So on the bottom side, I'm going to get a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Add that in. And a half teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use the same right there. And a teaspoon of, this is something that I use a good bit. This is a yummy flavoring. It's called Poultry Magic, but I think it's just kind of like maybe chicken bouillon that's already crushed, but it sure does add a good flavor to anything that you're making that has chicken involved in it, or the flavor of chicken. You just pick it up in the grocery store. And now, this is where I need, now you see I've got a kind of a clumpy mess here now. Got all those seasonings swimming in there. And now I need 2 cups of this chicken stock. So I'm going to take it out. And the water that you boiled your chicken in has a nice flavor to it. All right, so now we are on fairly low heat. And I'm going to stir this until it gets a little thicker. Got some of that stuff stuck to my spoon. I'm going to get it off. Now, I don't put this on really high heat. It's kind of on a low heat, which will do for now. If I put it on really high, it might start to scorch on the bottom. But you can see that that's kind of soupy. That's not thick like enchilada sauce. So we gotta let it cook for just a minute. I'm gonna look and see if there are any questions. Oh, hey Trisha in Chicago. Hey Linda. Hey Tammy. I want this to get a little bit thicker. This is a pretty fast meal, as you know, for when you're in a hurry. But there's a couple of ways people do this, and I'll tell you. Remember my theory: when it's for you and you're making it, you make it the way you like it. But enchiladas, typically, if you were to order one at a Mexican restaurant, have the chicken and the onions and the cheese and the sauce all wrapped up in the flour tortilla. And then they put more red sauce on the top of it and more cheese on the top of it. And so if that's the way you like yours, we're going to take just a baking dish and we're going to mix up our... we're going to roll up our enchiladas with the cheese and the sauce and the chicken and the onion and put them in this dish. Now, my family likes them a little less messy. In fact, mine likes to eat it almost like a burrito. So what I do is this enchilada sauce makes enough. There'll be about 2 cups of sauce, and you don't need but about 1 cup to mix in with your chicken. So what I'm going to do is take half of my sauce when it gets thick enough, put it in a jar, and put it in the refrigerator. So I have some enchilada sauce next time. I'm not going to pour mine over the top of my enchiladas and then bake it again. But if that's the way you like it and that's the way your family likes it, that's what you need to do. The beauty of being the cook is however you like it, that's the way you're going to make it. So you can see this is getting a little bit, it's getting a little thicker. I've turned the heat up just a little. I don't want to scald it because you know I've got flour in there. Now, can you see that it's getting thicker than it was? I was splashing in it a minute ago. And, you know, since I've got at least another 2 cups of chicken stock. If I felt like it, I could make another whole recipe of just the enchilada sauce to put in my refrigerator. But it's so easy to make, so simple, and so yummy. I think what I'm going to do too, just to give that a little bit more of a kick, I've already got my onions chopped up. I'm going to go ahead and put a few of those in just to give a little more onion flavor to that. See if it'll go ahead and thicken up. And I'll pour about a cup of it out, and then I'll have my enchilada sauce for the next time I want to make them. Just remember, you can do it either way. If I'm pretending I've got a Mexican restaurant, I better do it the right way or somebody will call me out on it. You like it like that too, Emily? Hey, Ashley. Hey, Star. Hey, Mary Alice. Hey, Mary. Okay. Give it a little bit more time to just remember, a good enchilada is in the sauce. I know you can go to the grocery store and buy a sauce, but I have never bought a sauce in a jar that was nearly this yummy. It's got all that chicken and flavors. Now, if you want beef enchiladas, you could do the same thing with some ground beef or even some chipped beef if you want to. But it's a good, this is a really good, yummy chicken enchilada sauce. And we eat a lot of chicken around here. You know, usually when I buy chicken at the grocery store, I'll get boneless, skinless breast. But sometimes, if that's all I use, I will find it to be a bit dry. So I like to get a package of thighs and I'll separate them out. So if I'm cooking, you know, 2 big boneless, skinless breasts, I will also add maybe 2 thighs to get some dark meat in there too, so that it will be a little bit more, moist. Just a little more, and it will thicken right up. You notice there's no clumps in here at all, like there would be if I were to go and add flour to this right now. All that flour would just jumble up in little clumps, and then I'd be trying to whisk it all together. So I got enough flour to start with. I'm not going to do that. Now, can you see the difference? That this is a little bit thicker, and it almost looks like a gravy. Not quite as thick as gravy, but let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a cup and I'm going to pour about half of this off. So now I've got enchilada sauce that I can just put in a leftover salsa jar or a pickle jar, or anything I've got left over. You can see I've still got about a cup of my enchilada sauce in here. Now I'm going to add my onions. That's just a medium Vidalia onion chopped up. And I'm going to add the chicken. Can you see that? Now, if I had left all of that enchilada sauce in here, it would be a little bit too much. It would be sort of like chili or soup instead of just a sauce. But can you see, now that I've got my chicken and my onions in there, just how it's just kind of like, almost like, it sort of looks to me like barbecue with barbecue sauce on it. And that's what you're going for. If we had not poured off all of this much to start with, it would be a little bit complicated to work with. So I'm going to try to move this where you can see it. So today, I know we've already made enchiladas, I mean, we've made tortillas, but now, because this is I'm in a hurry meal, we're going to take the tortillas. Sometimes I use the bigger ones, and sometimes I'll use the smaller taco-sized ones. Put that on. Add a little cheese. And now I'm going to roll it up. Now my family doesn't know it yet, but they're getting enchiladas tonight. But they will be happy. So, can you see what I did? I just rolled it up and I put it in a baking dish. So I can start back over. Now, isn't this easy? You can't get much easier than that. And I'm telling you, that is the yummiest enchilada sauce ever. And you just keep making up enchiladas until you run out of chicken. Sometimes I get, 4 or 5 or 6. It really just depends on the size of your chicken pieces that you started with. See, this way it's a little bit neater, having it without all the enchilada sauce on the top. But if that's how you like it, you've already got your enchilada sauce for that purpose. See this? All I would do now is pour this right over the top of my enchiladas, put a little more cheese, and then put it in the oven for a few minutes. Hey, Betsy. You absolutely can use light meat, Jamie. I just like to mix light and dark because I find that sometimes when I use light meat, it is a little too dry. But you can add butter and fix that if it's too dry for you. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Miss Elvie. Hey, Mary Alice. Hey, Ashley. So does anybody have a question about it? This is a very easy meal. You can see how quickly you can work this up. And I promise you, if you try this enchilada sauce, it is yummier than any that you can buy in the store that's ready-made. Maybe I need to bottle some. That'll be next. Cooking it first, then enchilada sauce. No, I am not doing that. If one of y'all wants to bottle it up, that's just fine. Hey, Kim. Hey, Chucky. Anyway, so if you're in quarantine and you're sick of the same old thing, make you some enchiladas and some black beans and some rice, and you will have a good meal. The recipe is on the Cookie School page, and it will also be over on the kids' classes on the Cookie School website. So I will see you again on Thursday at 1. Bye now.